Alright, and welcome back to another hacking tutorial with Stealth Data Zero. Today I'm going to be showing you another veil evasion tutorial. My last two tutorials were about veil evasion. I used them with Metasploit. Today I'm going to show you how to use veil evasion with Armiatge. I just wanted to mix it up and show you that you could use veil evasion with Armiatge. I know I mentioned it in the description. So I'm going to do it because I know some people that are newer to hacking like the graphical user interface, and I know some people just prefer that as well. So to keep things mixed up, we're going to use Armiatge with veil evasion. Now, my last two tutorials showed you how to hack Windows 10 with antivirus installed on it. And you can hack multiple Windows systems, not just 10, 7, or 8, or any Windows system that is able to run the payload. I'm only going to generate the payload. I'm not going to show you how to get the payload to the target like I normally do. And I'm not going to show you how to install veil evasion. I showed you that in my first veil evasion video. Alright, so if you need to learn how to install in veil evasion, if you know how to get clone, you can get clone it. Make sure it's version 3.1, or you can watch my first veil evasion video and see how to install veil evasion. So I need to start Armiatge, so I'm going to start service. And I'm going to be delivering the payload via my Apache server. I already actually have the payload downloaded to my Windows 10 device, and I've actually did a antivirus scan with Malwarebytes, and Windows Defender is active, and I'm going to show you in a second that the scan came up clean with the payload on the device. Now, normally how I deliver the payload is through the Apache server, but you could deliver the file any way you can deliver a file to a PC, whether it's TeamViewer, FTP protocol, doing a cloned website with a download link, drive-by download. Any way to get the file on the computer and get it ran is how you can use this payload. So we started PostgreSQL start. Now you can either click this to start Armiatge or type Armiatge in your command prompt. And that will begin Armiatge. We're just going to do it this way. Now Armiatge takes a while to fire up, so while that's starting, we're going to go to veil evasion. Alright, I just wanted to make sure Armiatge is working. Alright, so here when this comes up, this is for Armiatge. I accidentally typed that CD in, that's not supposed to be there. So you just want to hit connect. And then hit yes. Then a load bar is going to come up and it's going to say connection refused. Don't worry about that. Just let the load bar load. Alright, so that's what I was worried about, Armiatge starting twice. So let me just close that one. Alright, so now I'm going to start Veil Evasion by typing ls because it's in my root directory. cd/veil to list the contents, or change directory to Veil Evasion folder, ls to list the contents, and period for /veil .py to start the program. Alright, so Veil Evasion is a very simple tool. This is Veil Evasion. You can see the Twitter and you can see it's version 3.1.11. If you download it from GitHub, that's the one you need to get. There is an old GitHub page out there that's not supported anymore. So we're using number one. We used Veil Evasion multiple times in the other tutorials. So use one. It's a very simple tool. Then we need to list the payload. So list. We're going to use the, in the other tutorial we used the ASE encryption, but we're just going to use the reverse Python interpreter. So use 28. And then we need to set the L port. We're going to use port 443. Here's all the options that you can choose from. They're all up here. There's a bunch of different ones, but we only need to set 2. So you are set L port for 4443 or whatever port you would like. You can type if config in your terminal to find your internal IP address. If you're doing it remotely, then you need to use your public IP address. You can find that by Googling what's my IP address or going to what's my IP address.com. Again, if you type if config, it will show you your internal IP address. Alright, Armiatge is starting up right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and minimize that for now. And as you can see, Armiatge takes some time to load up, and that's fine. So if config, I hit Control-Shift-T to split my terminal into 2, and you can see my internal IP address is up here. So that's what you're going to need to use for your L port, or your L host, I mean. And again, if you're doing it remotely, you need to use your public IP address, and port 443 would have to be forwarded to your Kali Linux box. You do that via your admin or your admin config page inside of your router. Somewhere there should be settings for port forwarding. So we're going to type generate. And this is going to begin. Oh, we have to name the payload. I'm just going to leave it named payload for now. You can name it Python installer or whatever, or Windows update. I'm just going to enter to leave it default as payload, and we're going to press Y for py installer. So this is going to begin generating my payload, and then it's going to show you that it's inside of the var slash lib slash veil slash compiled folder, which you can navigate to through your folder system. Once you get the payload compiled, take it out of your folder, put it in your Apache server like I showed you on the previous two examples, and someone can straight download it from your Apache server, just typing in your internal IP address inside of a browser. If you forward port 80, it will to your Kali Linux box. It will open up your Apache server to the internet, and people will be able to type in your public IP address and reach the browser and download the payload anywhere in the world. You can also host websites and whatnot from the Apache server. In my last two videos, I demonstrate how to place the file in your Apache server. So if you'd like to see how to do that, go ahead. I'm just going to let the payload generate so you can see the file path, and you guys can follow the file path and grab the payload and transfer it to the target computer however you like. Alright, we're gonna, in the meantime, go to our Armiatge settings, and I'm going to clear the host. Now, as you can see, I have a Windows XP and a Windows 10 device already on here from a previous tutorial. So I'm going to do clear database to clear the database completely. Actually, I'll just Alright, you can see that the payload was output in the var slash lib slash veil slash output slash compiled as payload exe. So that's the file path you need to follow. Just click those files and you will find your payload and whatever you named it as. Okay, so now that we have that done, we no longer need veil evasion. So I'm going to go ahead and close the terminal. Okay, so go ahead and move your payload to the target device however you choose to do so. And then to use the multi-handler, go to payloads, go all the way down to Windows. Then we need to use the Windows / interpreter. And this is going to set up a multi-handler for us, and it's even going to add encoding for us on the multi-handler itself. So you can see it adds encoding. I'm going to set it to 10 iterations. This will just help you remain more undetected. If you watch my proxy chains video, you can see how to hack remotely through Tor and using encryption, and this will just help you remain undetected. And we also need to set the L port for the same port when making the payload. Again, if you're doing this remotely, this would stay the same. You would not put your public IP address there, but you need to use your public IP address inside of the payload when making it. So we can go ahead and hit launch. And what this is going to do is start our multi-handler, as you can see here on our Metasploit console. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the payload on the Windows 10 device. And as you can see, I gained a interpreter shell running as system, not only, which is higher than admin on the Windows 10 device. So you can use the interpreter shell very easily through Armiatge. As you can see, everything's graphical user interface. So you can just do all the commands very easily. Escalate privileges. If you're not running as system, that will get you running as system if possible. You can browse the files. And you can see the files come up here. And you can change the directories through here. So it's very easy to use. As you can see, it changed directories very easily. So you don't have to use the command line. Now I prefer Metasploit in the command line. You can set up pivoting very easily. Screenshot, webcam shot, all of that good stuff. We're going to do a screenshot. And as you can see, my payload's right here. This is Malwarebytes. And as you can see, scan is complete, no threats detected. Now the payload is obviously on the desktop and installed on Malwarebytes. This is a screenshot of the Windows 10 machine itself. So you can see how easy it is to hack Windows 10 with antivirus on it. Even when it's scanned, this payload remains undetected, and that is the beauty of Veil Evasion. Now, my other tutorials, I use Metasploit, but like I said, I wanted to mix it up and use Armiatge, so you can see how easy it is. You can look through all your commands. It's very simple at this point. So you can browse files, log keystrokes, screenshot, webcam shot, pivoting, ARP scan, scan for services, and you can even do the Nmap scan and then try to launch exploits as well. So that is Veil Evasion with Armiatge, bypassing antivirus and hacking Windows 10. Like I said, you can see that I did a scan with the payload on there, and it's no threats detected. So if you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe for more content like this, and if you want to help the channel out, show this to your friends, share it on your social media sites, and that really helps us out. And as always, have fun and keep hacking.